A moisture meter, we're looking for a name brand because we're going to put our name on that. My name's Tindall. I own PatchPro Drywall. With today's growing rate of construction cost, leaving moisture is only going to cost you more time, more headache, and more problems. When we come on scene, if it's a moisture that's caused this big of a hole, our minimum, we can be in and out and you can get the roof fixed, and it can be, a $200 to $500 repair between the roofer and our repairs. If you allow moisture to continue and mold to develop or any kind of fungus to begin growing, or just more damage, the dry rot that begins to affect all the wood in the home, when that hits the floor and structural issues and places that you can't just do a quick patch of drywall, now you've got something that's thousands of dollars, maybe an insurance claim that rolls into a bigger situation. And it's easier just to address it immediately. The second you find moisture in your home or you have a reading that's off, get a professional to evaluate it, and then you can move on with relatively low expense. I think some of the most common is mistakes that someone would make using a moisture meter for the first time. If you just grab one as a homeowner or a contractor that doesn't spend a lot of time in it, first of all, making sure your settings are correct. So there's different densities for these machines to be able to read the moisture. So different products are going to produce different readings. So you need to read your manufacturer's details and know what the drywall setting is, or the wood setting, or the concrete setting, because they're going to hold moisture and density very different. So first is going to make sure your settings are correct to the thing you're measuring. And then second is going to be not using the number as the alarm. So when we first got started in this and teaching guys, they would call me and be like, there's moisture still in this wall, and it's like 5%. But you start checking other areas and you can see things are 7%, 10%, and every industry has a little different rating for what's an acceptable amount of moisture. So I think really doing your homework on what is the standard moisture ratings for those items that you're measuring is a big deal too. Otherwise you're going to be in there chasing moisture but not knowing if you really have a problem or if you're in the standards. And so that's something I'd recommend to anyone, is learning a little bit more, maybe taking a class or watching some videos on what is average moisture ratings for those regions even too, because certain areas are running with a lot more moisture than other areas. And so that's a big misconception, because it's alarming when the scale just goes to red and says moisture in the wall. You got to figure out, why is it there? What's an okay amount of moisture? When we're picking a moisture meter, we're looking for a name brand. We're looking for something that's been around a long time, because we're going to put our name on that. So we want something that has high reviews and quality. And then the pinless technology is a nice to have, so we're always going to choose something that can scan along with pin, is kind of what we're looking for. And then the least fancy the better. So if we don't have to hook it up to a phone, if we don't have to download readings, if we can take it all right there, get a screenshot with our phone and translate that to the customer, we're looking for simple and reliable.